Hello, and welcome and happy Halloween, my favorite day of the year. Doing things a little differently today, as you will see. It's a double feature of both my list of top 10 horror films and Gabe's. I don't know about Gabe, but my list changes all the time. So this might be a yearly tradition where we update the list every Halloween. All right, let's get right into it because this promises to be a longer video with both of us contributing. I will list off my top 10 and then hand it over to Gabe for his list. In a desperate attempt to keep this as short as possible, I have written down what I'm going to say, so it's not all over the place. I have also decided to save up for a teleprompter after my car gets fixed. So if you see me looking down at my screen, you'll know why. Here is my list of top 10 favorite films for 2023, with number 10 starting first and then counting down to number 1. So, number 10, Last House on the Left, from 2009. Yes, the remake. Rarely does a remake do it better than the original, but in this case, it's true. Plus, I love me a revenge flick, and at its root base core, that's what this film is. Number 9, Insidious. The normal, tired, haunted house film gets tossed on its head a little bit with this film, with the addition of the rather new concept to this type of movie, which is astral projection, and the possibility of ghost possession. So that was a fun treat. Number 8, American Werewolf in London. It breaks my heart to have this gem so low on my list, but it's still on the top 10. The practical effects in this film are stunning, and to be honest, I will always prefer things to be done with practical effects rather than the nowadays overused CGI. If they can find a way to marry the two and make it good, then I might reconsider. Number 7, Evil Dead Rise, one of the more recent films on my list, as I tend to gravitate towards the more classic horror films. This film is, in my opinion, the best one of the franchise. It abandons the tired cabin in the wood trope, minus the opening, and keeps you wondering what's going to happen next. It's quite a thrill ride. If you haven't seen it, strongly recommend it. Number 6, The Birds. I will always have a special place in my heart for this great film from Alfred Hitchcock. The story seems like a love story between our two main characters that just happens to coincide with a mass attack of killer birds. The characters are charming, the storytelling is solid, and I always forget that the little girl who plays Kathy Brenner grows up to co-star in such great horror classic films like Alien, Witches of Eastwick, and almost every version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and many, many more. Let's keep on going. 1 second. Here we are. Number 5. Yes, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I recently just did a review for this film and immediately added it to my top 10 list. You can watch the review on YouTube or TikTok. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe while you're there. I talk about why I love this movie in that review, so please go and check it out. It's a phenomenal film. Number 4, Poltergeist. Now we're getting into more like nostalgic films for me. Number 4 is Poltergeist. This film I love not only because it's a great fucking film, but because of nostalgic reasons. I remember walking in on people watching this film when I was the age that the little girl was. I believe her name is Heather O'Rourke. Anyways, I walked in on the part where one of the characters tears his face off in a film that's rated PG-13. It terrified me at the time, but may have planted the seed for my love of horror films at that point. Moving right along, number 3, The Exorcist. Like the previous entry, this is a nostalgic love of mine. I actually saw this movie in theaters when they brought it back just before the release of that god-awful prequel film. That one doesn't exist. I was having a shit day and decided to treat myself to a late movie while I was avoiding going home. I was a little early to the theater and it was empty. To make a long story short, nobody ever came, and I was introduced to what is known as one of the scariest films ever made by watching it in a dark movie theater all by myself. It was both terrifying and awesome. Number 2, Psycho. This one is a yearly watch for me, and I have a love-hate relationship with this film. It is the other brilliant Alfred Hitchcock film on my list, and the writing, the directing, the storytelling, the acting, all of it is near perfect. The thing I hate about this film is knowing that with how charming and attractive I found Anthony Perkins' Norman Bates, I would have fallen victim to him and wound up in my car at the bottom of the lake behind his motel. Enough said. And number 1, Scream. This is kind of a cheat because when I say Scream, I mean the entire franchise. Even the ones that are my least favorites are included in this entry. It has the privilege of being the first horror film I saw in theaters. I was too young, so I snuck in and found a seat somewhere near the front. I could talk about this film series ad nauseum, so I will make another review video just about that at some point. I will leave you with this though. Before I hand you off to Gabe for his list of top 10, here is my order from most favorite to least favorite in the Scream franchise. Okay, and here those are now. I'll flash them up on the screen. And that being said, I hand you off to Gabe.
Oh, hello there, dear. I've been expecting you.
Thanks, James. I'll take it from here. So my top 10, this top 10 is going to be just focused more on darker horror films. The comedy and B-movie ones I'm going to stay away from for the most part just because I have way more than 10 top favorites. Also, these ones are ones that I have picked specifically as ones that I just enjoy watching, so they're not necessarily the best films out there, but they're ones I really enjoy watching right now. So, number 10 is Hostel. Hostel is dark, it is gruesome, it is violent, and I would honestly be scared of staying in a hostel had I not stayed in one before this film. I highly recommend just because there are some scenes that you can are just kind of unforgettable. You can't forget some of the insane things that happen in this film. It's also just terrifying because I could absolutely see something like this actually exist. And number 9 is Megan. Megan is great, and I honestly think it is the next franchise that we're going to be seeing. It's going to be like our modern version of Child's Play for sure, and I'm sure we're going to see probably, 8 or 10 of these movies down the line and we'll be sick of it eventually, but it is really great to watch. Terrifying. Alright, number 8. Number 8 is something that I'm sure some people are going to really complain about and say that it was a bad choice, but for me, I love this film. This is The Menu. The Menu is artistic, it is violent, it is just really, honestly, at points hilarious, and I personally love the ending. I think the ending was a great way to wrap it up. Some people I'm sure will not agree with me in the comments, but that is my number 8. Now to number 7. Number 7 has to be a film that started Johnny Depp's career off. It is Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street is just terrifying. I was scared of it as a kid before I even saw the film because I literally saw the VHS tapes being sold at our grocery store that we used to go to as a kid, and I was terrified, so terrified of Freddy Krueger. I literally had nightmares about him before ever seeing the films. Really great, really fun, really cheesy as well, but so enjoyable. And I'm talking about the original, people. I'm talking about the first one, not the remake. And I do love some of the other ones, but that's the one I'm focusing on today. 6 is Psycho. Psycho is a classic, and you can't not ever remember that one scene, the shower scene. Besides that though, that film is such a good film. Like, the dialogue and how interesting he keeps the characters going. I love that film, and it's just a classic. If you like horror movies at all, that is very important to see, especially someone like me that wants to write and make films. It's very important to see that film, and it's just so fun and dark and enjoyable to watch. Number 5 is The Exorcist. The Exorcist is dark. It's such a slow burn, but it makes it even more terrifying as the movie goes along. The practical effects and the makeup is amazing, and just what the actual actors had to go through to make that film just adds to the entire film as well. Number 4 is Nope. Nope is a fantastic sci-fi horror film. I was expecting little green men, and instead I got something completely different. It is so unique and different and fun, and personally I love Jordan Peele. All Jordan Peele films I have seen, I have found amazing, and this one is definitely one of my top right now. When I saw it in the movie theater, I think I saw it 3 different times. Highly recommend. Love the characters, love the storyline, love the overall universe that he creates, and highly recommend if you haven't seen that one. Number 3 is Hush. Hush is such a good film. It is about a deaf character that ends up being like a home invasion, and she does everything right in the film, and still it is just really hard and difficult and scary and frightening the entire time. My number 2 is Halloween. Halloween, the original film, is such an amazing film. I don't know how well it would do coming out today, but it is such an amazing 80s slasher film. I personally think it's the best slashers 80s film out there. Michael Myers is such a terrifying character, and he seems so unpredictable, but he also seems, at least in the original, seems like he has a plan. You just don't know what that plan is. And that is what makes it so scary. I love this film, and now for number one. And my number one, drum roll please, is Saw, the original Saw. The original Saw has so many twists and turns in the film. You never know who is actually the one causing all of the chaos in the entire film till the very end, and it's just... I'm someone that loves a good twist at the end, but there were so many twists and turns in this film. It is so amazing. I know some people watching this probably don't have the stomach to watch Saw or my number 10 as well, Hostel, just because it is so violent and gory and horrifying. But if you can sit through it, Saw is such an amazing film. Leave a comment and let us know what your top 10 would be. See you next time.
Zoom.